My name's Amy of Amy's Apothecary and Herbal Medicine Clinic here in Chelmsford in Essex. Now those of you that follow me will know that I've just relaunched my online shop with a range of herbal teas, both individual and some bespoke blends that I've designed over the years. So I've decided to do a course of videos to talk to people a little bit more about the use of these different herbal teas. And I'm going to start with talking to you about chamomile on the poster behind me. So I think most of us have had a chamomile tea at some point over the years. This will usually be a tea bag bought from the supermarket. Now unfortunately sometimes these aren't the best quality. That's not always the case, but a lot of the time they're not. And this really affects how well they work in the body and how well they act medicinally. So a really good chamomile should have a really honey scent to it, and the flowers themselves should have this beautiful yellow plumpness. Can you see that there? Okay. So when you open up your tea bags from the supermarket, they're often quite powdery and twiggy and not particularly plump like this. So that's the first thing to bear in mind. Now I think we all know chamomile tea to be a really good anti-anxiety tea and to help us with sleep. And this is down to the volatile oil and flavonoid content of the flower itself, having an anti-anxiety and sedating properties. So it's really good for stress-induced insomnia, stress-induced headaches, anxiety related to PMS and the menopause, and just anxiety in general. It's also a brilliant gastrointestinal herb, so it's a gastrointestinal antispasmodic and anti-inflammatory. So it's really useful in cases of IBS and IBD, where there's that spasm happening in the stomach, and really useful for relaxing that and helping to ease the passage of trapped wind. So with this in mind, it has a really good traditional use as for treating babies with colic, and is really helpful there. Really helpful for diarrhea in children, and gastric and peptic ulcers, as well as gastritis. So as well as having anti-inflammatory actions on the gastrointestinal system, externally, if we use chamomile tea in a bath, it's really anti-inflammatory to the skin. Now it also has a mild antibacterial action, so this can be really helpful with the skin. So it's good for eczema sufferers, it's really good to soothe hemorrhoids, it's really good for nappy rash in babies and for soothing cracked nipples. Now you wouldn't always want to run a bath in these cases, so what you can do is brew yourself up a tea blend and soak some cotton pads in there. Take the cotton pads and apply them where needed, so to the cracked nipple or to the baby's nappy rash. They can also be used like this for conjunctivitis or blepharitis. So again, soak the pads, leave them to cool to a comfortable temperature, and then pop those on the eyes and let them soothe, bring down the inflammation and help fight the infection. So as well as the use in the bath and externally to the skin, that can be very helpful as a mouthwash or a gargle for the oral mucosa where there's inflammation and where there's ulcers. So this is good for gingivitis. I personally found it really helpful when going through chemotherapy, and I had strange tastes in my mouth and lots of ulcers. So I combined the marigold and I combined the chamomile with marigold for a really lovely tea blend here. So with blends in mind, chamomile that I've used in my blends is across a few different teas that I have here. So starting with Kate's calming tea. Now Kate's my little sister, and I developed this tea for her some years ago with her anxiety in mind. And that's combined with ashwagandha and passion flower, and I've prescribed it to many patients over the years who've found it really useful. If I'm ever having a stressful day, this is my first go-to. So with regards to sleep, it's part of my dream drifting blend with valerian and passion flower. So if you're the sort of person that you feel tired, you go to bed, as soon as your head hits the pillow, your mind switches on, you're overthinking everything and you can't get to sleep, this is a really good blend for quietening the mind and easing you into a nice restful slumber. From a gastrointestinal point of view, it's part of my digestive soother blend, which also has licorice, ginger and meadowsweet in there. So this is really good for you IBS and IBD sufferers. And I also have it as part of my morning sickness soother. So chamomile as well as ginger is really good for easing nausea, especially that associated with morning sickness, and it has a really long traditional use here. So this is a really good go-to blend for mums to be. So if you are interested in buying either the chamomile tea or any of my blends, please do have a look at the website, amysapothecary.co.uk. If you have any questions, please do comment on the link below or message me through the website and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thank you.